In humanity's relentless drive for convenience and economic growth, we have developed a dangerous level of dependency on network systems in a very short space of time. In less than 2 decades, huge parts of the so-called critical national infrastructure, CNI in geekish, in most countries have come under the control of ever more complex computer systems. Computers guide large parts of our lives as they regulate our communications, our vehicles, our interaction with commerce and the state, our work, our leisure, our everything. At one of several cybercrime trials I have attended in recent years, Britain's Crown Prosecution Service demanded the imposition of a so-called prevention of crime order on a hacker, which would come into force after his release from prison. The order would block him from accessing the internet except for 1 hour a week under the supervision of a police officer. By the time my client completes his sentence, the defendant's lawyer remarked at the hearing, there will barely be a single human activity that will not somehow be mediated by the internet. How is my client supposed to live a normal life under such circumstances? He asked rhetorically. How indeed? Those who have left their mobile phone at home even for a few hours usually notice an intense irritation and a sense of loss, akin to cold turkey among more dependent users. Interestingly, when deprived of the device for 3 days, this corrosive feeling of unease is often replaced by a rush of liberation as one is transported back to a world not so far away, where we neither had nor needed mobile phones and we arranged our lives accordingly. Today, most people feel they cannot live without these tiny portable computers. Perhaps the nearest comparison to computers is the motor vehicle. As cars became a standard family item from the 1940s onwards, only a minority of drivers really understood what was going on under the bonnet. Nonetheless, that was still quite a number who could fix their vehicle whatever the cause of breakdown, still more who could tweak the carburetor in order to limp home, and most could at least change a flat tire. These days, if it's only a flat tire, you can still probably reach your destination, but a growing number of breakdowns are now the result of a computer failure in the control box, the black plastic housing usually located behind the engine. If it is a control box issue, then even if you are an experienced tank mechanic, you won't be able to get the car moving. If you are lucky, a computer engineer will be able to fix it, but in most cases you will need to replace the unit. Computer systems are so much more complex and fragile than internal combustion engines that only the very tiniest group of people can begin to deal with a problem beyond the familiar mantra. Have you tried rebooting it? We now find ourselves in a situation where this minuscule elite, call them geeks, technos, hackers, coders, securocrats, or what you will, has a profound understanding of a technology that every day directs our lives more intensively and extensively, while most of the rest of us understand absolutely zip about it. I had first begun to appreciate the significance of this when researching my previous book on global organized crime, McMafia. I traveled to Brazil in order to investigate cybercrime because this absorbing country is, among its many positive qualities, a major center of bad stuff on the web, though this was little known at the time. Here I met cyberthieves who had engineered a spectacularly successful phishing scam. Phishing remains one of the most dependable pillars of criminality on the internet. There are 2 simple variants. The victim opens a spam email. The attachment may contain a virus which enables a computer somewhere else in the world to monitor all activity on the affected computer, including the input of bank passwords. The other trick lies in designing an email that appears to have been sent by a bank or other institution, requesting confirmation of login and password details. If the recipient falls for the ruse, then the spammer can use these to access some or all of your internet accounts. The Brazilian hackers demonstrated step by step how they secured tens of millions of dollars for themselves from bank accounts in Brazil, Spain, Portugal, the United Kingdom, and the United States. I then visited the Cybercops in Brasilia who had busted 4 other members of their criminal group, although at least twice that number were never tracked down by the police. And then I interviewed the chief of X-Force, the Covert Operations Department of the American computer security company, ISS. In the space of about a week, I realized that conventional or traditional organized crime, colorful and varied though it was, carried with it significantly greater risks for the perpetrators than for those engaged in cybercrime.